Hey y'all, thank you for joining me for this month's episode of Soul Food Sunday. If it's your first time joining me, my name is Keita, and if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Um, I have a shit ton of notes about things that I want to share with y'all. The astrology of the month of October, some of the key themes. We fresh off of eclipse season, and so that energy came through to push us more into individuation as well as um, exploring tribal consciousness, the groups we're in, the people we're partnered with, what we want, what we don't want, how do we show up, how do we honor ourselves as an individual within group or family dynamics, within relationships, romantic or otherwise. That's been a lot of the things that the eclipse came to bring in, showing us the truth of uh, what needs to go and what needs to be nurtured, and where you need to place your time and energy and investment. So I hope this message finds y'all well. If it does not find you well, I hope something is said that leaves you well. I really want to start by honoring um, the goddess, the warrior Assata Shakur, who transitioned maybe a week ago. I hadn't really made a public statement or anything like that about it, but I am very much a student of Assata Shakur, and it's amazing because I want to say last month before last, something like that, I just had this overwhelming feeling to like explore her documentaries. So I binge watched a few documentaries that I was able to find on YouTube about her life. For those of you who are not familiar with who Assata Shakur is, she was born Joanne Chesimard, and she was a member of the Black Panther Party and the Black Liberation Movement. And I think that was a derivative of the Black Panther Party. But she was targeted by COINTELPRO, a government agency that pretty much the same agency, if I'm not mistaken, that killed Fred Hampton and so many of our other prominent Black liberation leaders. But she ended up being in a shootout with the highway patrol, I think it was. And so somebody died in the shootout, but she was arrested. And when she was arrested, like, they literally put her in male prisons. She was tortured. I'm pretty sure she was raped. You know how these barbaric masculine energies in pseudo authority and power do. So she was violated in a myriad of ways, and as a what I believe to be the only woman in a male prison. But she was her tribe came through and helped her escape, and she escaped to Cuba, where she has been living in asylum for, I don't even remember how long she had residency in Cuba. But she's been living her life in Cuba. She wrote a book about her story, and in many of the documentaries that I saw, she's telling about her life in Cuba, the grief that she has missing her family in the States, but also the freedom that she enjoys in Cuba. As somebody who has gone to Cuba before, I could totally relate with being free of some of the things, the patriarchy and the bullshit over here in the States that she had freedom from. And it's sad that she had to go over there to be free, but she was very much a rebel. And so I honor her legacy, and wanted to speak to just how we are Assata's children. Like, we're not meant to live in bondage, and a lot of the astrology and the cosmic goings ons and the way the divine and our ancestors and spirit guides is moving to get us out of bondage. So like, we not no longer in bondage the way many of them generations of them were, but there are still ways where we're mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially in bondage. And so these energies are coming to help us get as free as possible on this human journey. So many of you may be able to identify with liberating yourself from different forms of bondage, and how that requires that we be a rebel. We have to be rebellious. We cannot move with the flock. We can't go with the flow. We can't do what everybody else do. We cannot be sheep. We have to be wolves in order to live a sovereign life. And so I'm going to be sharing the astrology for the month of October, and it's a lot going on. We got the 1010 portal, which I'm planning to do another reading for that. You got, oh, before I go to the astrology, I did want to share some quotes from Assata Shakur, because she was very smart. She was an initiate of Ifa, if I'm not mistaken. In one of the documentaries, she talked about Yemaya and Oshun and African traditional religions, and how she explored that living in Cuba, her experience of the African diaspora in that way. But she was just a very smart lady, and to have gone through as much as she went through, she still was a vibrant spirit. But she says, I have never really understood exactly what freedom is. I know that freedom is the right to be free, the right to be yourself, or to be whoever you are, to be whatever you want to be, to do whatever you want to do. So when she was in the States, that's what she was fighting for. That was her motive. That's what she was a part of. And the powers that think they be went through immense lengths to try to stop her. As a matter of fact, she, to this day, well, not to this day, because of course she ain't on there no more, but up to her passing a week or so ago, she was the only woman to be on the FBI's most wanted fugitive list after all of this time. This shit happened in like the 80s. But freedom was just that fucking important to her, that she ain't let nothing stop her, and her people, her tribe supported her, and they didn't let nothing stop her. She just had to relocate. But another quote of hers that I like is, I believe in living. I believe in the spectrum of beta days and gamma people. I believe in sunshine, in windmills and waterfalls, tricycles and rocket chairs. I believe that seeds grow into sprouts and sprouts grow into trees. I believe in the magic of the hand, and also in the wisdom of the eyes. In this quote, she really speaks to like thinking beyond what's been presented to us as the American dream, what we should aspire for, like seeing beyond your circumstances to appreciate the big things and the small things, and not getting caught up in, as I always say, money, hoes, and clothes, and believing that there's room for growth, and that the seeds that you plant will sprout, that what you invest in will grow, and that things will get better. Believing in better days. And somebody who has gone through all that she's gone through and still believing in magic, believing that God will deliver, believing that there are better days ahead, it's beautiful. I believe in the magic of the hand. Speaking of the magic of the hand, happy Hoodoo Heritage Month. October is Hoodoo Heritage Month, and that's a celebration of root work. The way our culture has always, some way or another, taken God's gifts and used it to manifest and multiply. Um, and in the wisdom of the eyes, because you can't always believe what you see, and you got to be able to discern what you see, and you got to also be able to tap into that third eye and see beyond the veil and know that not everything that's being presented to you is as it seems. So I love that quote. So shout out to her. But moving on to the October astrology, y'all. So now we're in Libra season, and Libra is represented by the scales. So we're definitely needing to prioritize balance and know that as things are naturally occurring in our lives, they're coming to bring us into balance, into mayat, and to restore divine order in our lives, get us in better alignment with divine order, the way things are meant to be lined up in order for us to have prosperity and abundance. The problem for many of us is that we've been out of order. We've been out of alignment. And so a lot of our experiences lately are moving us in that direction. Just saw 11:11. We're moving through these energy portals that are getting us in better alignment with our abundance, as we are intentional about taking back everything that the locusts have stolen. So we got that energy of cosmic balance, justice, truth, harmony coming in naturally in this season to support us. And for many of us, that looks like taking time to reflect and introspect and have gained self-awareness about how we show up. And also observe how other people are showing up and make our decisions and discern from there what contributes to us having a healthy balance in our lives and within ourselves. So in the aftermath of last month's eclipses, for many of us, it's like we're going through a cosmic detox, cleansing and clearing and making room for the harvest, which we just had the fall equinox. So we're in harvest season, so we're making room for the blessings that are to come in, and that means we clearing out relationships and anything that's standing in the way of reaping the reward of our hard work up to this point, because it's coming, but will you have room for it, right? There's a heavy focus on water with the water trine of Saturn and Pisces, the Sun and Mercury in Scorpio at the end of the month, as we shift from Libra season to Scorpio season. And Neptune in Pisces is heightening emotional sensitivity and calling us to process rather than repress. So this heavy water energy that we're experiencing, Scorpio and Pisces are both water signs, it's calling us to have and explore the concepts of emotional maturity, emotional intelligence, and also our avoidance styles. We all got not avoidance styles, attachment styles. We're being called to explore our attachment styles and how that shows up in our lives, how that has contributed to where we are on our journey, and take an assessment of how we want to use that awareness to better our circumstances and our vibrational alignment moving forward. We got Mars in Cancer, which highlights family patterns, emotional triggers, and how we protect or defend our inner child. Cancer is a very nurturing energy. It represents the womb. It's also represented by the crab, which is the animal that has a hard shell, but thrives, lives in the water. It can navigate the water and the land. So in terms of like equating that energy to human traits, it's very much someone who's vulnerable and emotional, but wears a lot of armor, right? And does not express their emotions well. Cancer energies tend to value nurturing, mothering energies, feminine energy to a degree. And it's calling for that. Cancer and Mars energy is calling us to reparent ourselves in that way. For those of us who have children, paying attention to how we mother them, how we show up, whether you're a mother or a father, how we represent that Cancer mothering, nurturing, safe, holding safe space energy in in your children's lives. If you work with children, so like me, I meant to tell y'all I went back to subbing. We'll talk about that in another video. But I know in one of them I said I quit. But not yet. I jumped the gun on that decision. I kind of misread the download just a little bit. But like I said, we'll talk about that another time. But like for instance, me subbing, like I'm very mindful of the type of energy I bring when I'm around these kids. Because for one, I'm noticing that in these schools, like a lot of these teachers should not be teachers. They're not fit. They haven't done their inner child healing. And so when they're around children, these children trigger their inner child and they show up like a kid to whatever instance. And it's sad to watch because it's like, you're a fucking adult. You're supposed to be setting the example. And you're letting your personal unhealed wounding govern this situation. So it's that type of thing where we're needing to be mindful of how our inner child is showing up, how we show up as a mother archetype, or the type of people that we have around our children. By our, I just mean y'all, because y'all know I ain't got no kids. But yeah, like all of that may come into play as Mars is in Cancer, and mother wounds, mother dynamics, period. Then you got Venus in Virgo, and that's opposing Saturn in Pisces, and that's asking us to evaluate the reality of our relationships. Not what you want it to be, not what it used to be, but what it is. Accepting things for what it is after evaluating. And during that evaluation, we're asking ourselves, is this healthy? Is this a healthy dynamic? Is it reciprocal? Is it aligned with my growth? Can I grow in this relationship? Be it a partnership, a professional partnership, a romantic partnership, a familial relationship. Like, is there room for growth and expansion in the connection before you decide if you're going to continue to invest in it or move the fuck on, right? Then the South Node is in Libra, North Node in Aries. I thought they must have retrograded. Anyway, be mindful of your nodal placement. So like my North Node is in Gemini, my South Node is in Sagittarius, and I'm always having to be mindful of not regressing into solitude and like want to do everything by myself and just explore and learn, like self-study and travel and escape by traveling, and all of that's like Sagittarius energy. Whereas as a Gemini, I am led to open myself up to connecting with people, exchanging energy with people, teaching and learning from people, and not being as secluded as I naturally would like to be. Like, people look at me and meet me and interact with me, and they're like, you're such an extrovert, you're such a social butterfly. And I'm like, I really do value my alone time. I really do value intimacy. I really rather connect with one person for long lengths of time opposed to a whole bunch of motherfuckers. So being in a crowded room, like, it's only so much of that I ideally can take. So I'm more of a ambivert, where I can thrive in a social setting and very much can come off as an extrovert, but I value that introverted side of me my long time, or intimacy with someone who, like, I don't mind your company. I don't mind your energy. I enjoy your company. I enjoy your energy. I benefit from your company and your energy in like a one-on-one exchange of some sort. But other than that, yeah. So we're needed to be mindful of those type of dynamics within us and around us as well. And dog, I didn't bring the book out here. I was reading in The Mystic Path of Cosmic Power, I think it's called, by Vernon Howard. I've been in that book tough lately. And I read a few things that I felt were pertinent to the energy of us being called out of bondage and to be rebellious, and how nobody's coming to save us. Like the other day, there was a whole rapture thing that was a phenomenon where people thought the rapture was coming, right? And folks just want to save you so goddamn bad. Like, I'm all for the deities and the angels and the ascended masters and the entities and energies from other realms, and those who've walked this earth who support us energetically. I'm not knocking that. I really ain't knocking nothing. But I don't think it benefits us to lean so heavily on something or someone outside of us saving us, because that's the thing that keeps us in bondage. We are absolutely not to pass the buck when it comes to liberating, healing, evolving ourselves. And so one of the things that stood out in the book was about rebellion and integrity. And the passage says, you must rebel constructively. Don't direct your rebellion against people or conditions, rather against your own fear of people and conditions. Perhaps someone in your life bothers you. You need not get mad at them, but you need to say silently to this person and to yourself, from this day on, I will no longer sacrifice my natural integrity to you. From now on, I'm living my life. I will no longer barter my true individuality in order to please you and to hold you. Take me or leave me, but you'll have to take me as I am. This is calling us to don't just be a rebel without a cause. You know what I'm saying? Know what it is that you're rebelling against and why. Be clear on that and stand on business, and don't allow people to puppet and prostitute your energy by way of people pleasing and not living life as you best see fit. And also, it's calling us to take accountability, because where it says don't direct your rebellion against people or conditions, you know, you got people that are conspiracy theorists and they rebel against the system and everybody else, but meanwhile they don't take that kind of stance in their own personal life. You know what I'm saying? The type of change that is required of us to have a better 3D reality is internal. It's a solo mission. Are you doing your part in your personal life before you call yourself rebelling against the system? Like, take accountability for you and the part you play in the grand scheme of things. So I love that it mentions that, and it literally gives you a script if you're able to identify where you've given your power away, you've prostituted yourself in some way. Where it says, from this day on, I will no longer sacrifice my natural integrity to you. From now on, I'm living my life. I will no longer barter my true individuality in order to please you and to hold you. Like, it don't sit well with me, so I'm not about to tuck my tail in order to be around you or be in your midst, to have you in my life. Like, we're being called to stop going along to get along, stop sacrificing what it is that we truly feel and how we truly think about things, like what it is we stand on. So very much reassessing our priorities. When it says here, take me or leave me, but you'll have to take me as I am, it reminded me of Take Me As I Am, the words to that song by Mary J. Blige. I'm gonna pull up the lyrics right quick. I might already have it pulled up. I got so many open tabs in my phone. Mary says, she's been down and out. She's been wrote about. She's been talked about constantly. She's been up and down. She's been pushed around, but they held her down. NYC. She has no regrets. She accepts the past. All these things that help to make she. Come on, Mr. Plane. Trying to do my thing right now. Dang, where did I leave off? Oh, she has no regrets. She accepts the past. All these things, they help to make she. She's been lost and found, and she's still around. There's a reason for everything. We are needed to see the reason why certain things have played out in our lives the way that they have, and accept things for what they are. Like your narrative, your past, where you are right now. It is what it is. What you about to do about it? You know what I'm saying? Regardless of where you are, what you've done, require that people take you as you are or have nothing from you at all, and that's fine. Opposed to bending and bowing to what it is that they want or require from you. Be honest about you, with you, and therefore you'll be able to stand on business with other people. And that's the part of what's going to help get you out of whatever form of bondage you may identify with being in bondage with. Because you can't expect people to take you seriously if you don't take yourself seriously. You know, I've been holding on, tried to make me weak, but I still stay strong. Put my life all up in these songs just so you can feel me, so you can get the real me. So take me as I am or have nothing at all. Yes, she's older now. Yes, she's wiser now. Can't disguise her now. She don't need no one telling her what to do and say. No one telling her who to be. She's on solid ground. She's been lost and found. Now she answers to G-O-D. No longer people pleasing. Only seeking to live a life that's aligned with that which the divine has called forth from you. Let's see. And she's confident this is not the end. Ask me how I know, because she is me. Realizing that you literally in the middle of your story. This is not the end. What do you want moving forward? How would you want the narrative to be moving forward? We're literally being called to rewrite our narrative and take our power back and know that we really are in control of how a lot of our sacred contract plays out. But are you going to align with divine will, or are you going to keep on going against that to use your free will and keep repeating these karmic cycles? I think that's it on the lyrics, because otherwise she just keep repeating take me as I am or have nothing at all. Standing on business. This is me. This is what I come with. This is what I want. This is who I want. This is where I'm going. And like for many of us, like Assata, living a free life looks like relocating. It looks like moving and going somewhere else and being amongst a whole new set of people in a whole new set of places, doing a whole new thing. So that may resonate with you. Let me go back to my notes. So yeah, that song stood out to me. Many of us are being called out of victimhood and into heroism. Again, nobody's coming to save us, y'all. It's not happening. So it reminds me of the song by Rocco. You just do you. I'ma do me. Like, I ain't knocking what you doing, I ain't knocking what you got going on, but it ain't in alignment with what it is that I want, desire, and vision for my life. And so you just do you. I'ma do me. So y'all might want to check out that song. I know in the lyrics, Rocco does a lot of bragging. But you wear Givenchy, I wear this and all of that. But it's not necessarily about material things. You know what I'm saying? It's just about living as an individual and not even like comparing yourself to another motherfucker. Just accepting that what you own is not what I'm on, and that's okay. Another song that stood out to me as a download is I Keep. The lyrics to I Keep by Jill Scott. So y'all might want to check that out, and just note that like all of this is really calling us to a more emotionally mature, intelligent, and it's a word I'm looking for, available, emotionally available place in our lives. And there's a difference. A lot of people don't even know the difference, and that's okay. Who teaches us this shit, right? To not know is perfectly okay, but it's too much information out here to have it brought to your awareness and then you not know. You know what I'm saying? The choosing to be ignorant is the thing that's annoying as fuck. But emotional intelligence is the awareness, knowing what you feel, naming it, and recognizing it, and that matters. When you know, I feel sad, I feel depressed, I feel anxious, I feel happy, I feel joyful, I feel melancholy, there's so many words to describe our emotions. I said I'm gonna buy one of those emotion wheels, because I remember liking using it when I used to go to therapy. My therapist used to give me this wheel that has all of the different emotions on it, and I was to pick how I'm feeling, because we use some of the same key main words to describe our emotions when there's a myriad of words that we don't. So for most of us, we use sad, hurt, angry, happy, to describe our emotions, but there's so many other words that can help us better describe how we really feeling. And even if it's not to somebody else, just to have that awareness and be able to put a label on it for yourself, so that you know how to govern yourself accordingly moving forward from that awareness. So you have emotional intelligence, like naming your emotion and recognizing it, which a lot of people lack. They don't even know how to assign a name or meaning or anything to how they feeling. And then you have emotional maturity. That's how you handle your emotions. It's how you apply what you know about your emotions, your awareness of your emotions, and how you choose to respond to your emotions. Instead of, for many, instead of responding, they react. And knowing the difference calls us to take accountability for how we show up when we are triggered or based on our emotions. And it helps us to create solutions instead of repeating the same cycles. Then we have emotional availability, where you're really present. You know what I'm saying? You really show up. You're not avoidant, which leads me to my and not just like show up, like just be present, but to really care. You know what I'm saying? To really open yourself up to feeling, because people are physically present when they really don't feel shit, or they don't allow themselves to be vulnerable or open to feeling. So that's a thing. But the avoidance thing leads me to the way this cosmic energy in the month of October is calling forth being aware of and knowing more about, mindful of your attachment styles. So there's the secure attachment style, where you feel safe giving and receiving love because you learn consistency as a childhood, as a in your childhood, not as a childhood. Anxious attachment style, where you crave closeness but fear abandonment because love felt inconsistent growing up. And those are those people who cling because they have an ancient attachment style. Avoidance is where you value independence but you push people away because vulnerability wasn't safe in your early years when you were vulnerable and just being more of your authentic self as a child. Something happened where you didn't feel, and not one isolated thing, but things happen where you didn't feel safe to do you, so then you start putting on this armor and becoming emotionally avoidant and unavailable, and now that shows up in some way in your life. This energy is gonna be calling that shit up and out. And disorganized attachment styles, where you crave love but also fear it, swinging between anxious and avoidant patterns, often from a caregiver who was both comfort and fear. Again, not feeling safe. All of this speaks to not feeling safe. And one thing I've been learning in my experience is that emotional safety is such a it's something I value. It's a priority. And I'm noticing there's a lot of different ways where people show up that contribute to me being able to identify that I don't feel emotionally safe. I don't feel safe to share how I feel. I don't feel safe to open up. I don't feel safe to let my guard down or pour into certain relationships and situations because their emotional safety isn't there. I feel safe in this world. I feel protected in this world. I feel provided for in this world. I feel safe with my discernment and my intuition that I always be notified when something ain't a good idea or I need to exit stage left or govern myself accordingly in a situation. So I feel safe in that way. But one thing that we sometimes don't consider is that it's not enough to feel sexually safe. It's not enough to just feel physically and financially safe. We have to prioritize feeling emotionally safe, because it's that not feeling emotionally safe that has kept us in bondage, that has kept us afraid to rebel against that which does not resonate with us, whether it never resonated or it no longer resonates. But whatever the case, we needed to be true to ourselves. We needed to prioritize our health, be it physical, emotional, or otherwise. But yeah, y'all, that is Soul Food Sundays for the month of October. These messages are very much timeless. Like, if you catch this reading next year and it resonates, it's the message for you. I've been going back watching some of my old readings, and they're so relevant to the energy currently. So don't get hung up on the timing, but stay tuned for a 10/10 portal reading. And I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to do a divine feminine, masculine, and reading separately or together, because I have been getting downloads about that. But there will be more to come. But until next time, y'all, peace.